Hey, what is up, guys and gals? It's Larry Cool the Gamer here. I'm back with part 2 of the PlayStation 4 collection. Let's go ahead, not waste any time, get right into it. So I also have Black Sad Under the Skin. Very good game. Good detective game. I have the special limited edition version of it because it's got that holograph thing underneath it. It also came with some cards. Came with this card, John Blacksad, the main character of the game. And it also came with this card right here, Desmond O'Leary. And there was one other card in here that it came with, so that was a nice addition. The gameplay is pretty fun. It's basically a typical like mystery game. Hold on a second. Excuse me. It's your typical mystery game. But all the characters like they dress in like suits or they're actual animals in the game. But the main character you play as is a detective named John Blacksad. And through the game, you do all sorts of like solving puzzles and putting pieces together to figure out clues and stuff. So that way you could either help the innocent person or defeat the bad guys. It's very good. I recommend it. It's a lot of fun. Oh yeah, see, it comes with 4 postcards. My fault. I said 3. It comes with 4. And then you get that. See, you get the outer box case. But yeah, it's a good detective game, and I do recommend it. The controls are good. The gameplay is fun. It can get very challenging though. Like, I mean, putting the pieces together, trying to figure things out. There is this one bum that will give you information, but in order to do that, you have to buy him like a Coke and a cheeseburger because he doesn't have anything to eat. So that was kind of interesting. I had to go down to the nearest diner and buy him a Coke and a cheeseburger just to get some information out of him. But yeah, that was kind of funny and cool. And the game is pretty fun. I mean, I know what else I can say about it. It's good. Agatha Christie, The ABC Murders. I've had this game a couple of times. I mean, I've had 2 PS4s. Obviously, I don't play them on PlayStation 4 anymore. I play it on my PS5 since they're all backwards compatible. But this game you play as Detective Gavier Perot, or Pardo. I'm not sure how you pronounce his name. And it's another detective puzzle solving game. Somebody dies in the beginning of the game, and then you have to solve the murder. So you have to go through the levels and find clues, find glass that fell on the floor, blood falls on the floor. Um, little like knives and shit that ended up in the like a piano or a suitcase or something. Little things like that, and it's mainly puzzle solving. But you do walk around a little bit in the game. The only thing is that he has an accent in the game, so it can be kind of hard to make sense of what he says sometimes. But that's why you gotta listen closely. Either that or pull the subtitles up if you can. But I like this game. I think it's pretty good. But it's definitely not for a person who's not into like puzzle solving type of games. You would be bored to tears if you don't like puzzle solving games or mystery games. But I like it, so awesome. Flat Out 4, Total Insanity. I like the Flat Out games. I like that they aren't too serious. They're more arcadey. I never did play Flat Out 3. And Flat Out 1 and 2 I played on PS2. But I know that they were also on Xbox. But Flat Out 3 I never played. I know there's another Flat Out game on Xbox 360, which is basically a flat out Total Carnage. That's the name of the game. But they're all your standard racing games, but they do have you do some like stunts and stuff at times in the game. But it's fun, you know. And when your guy crashes, he can like fall out of the car and end up on the ground, which is bizarre, but I guess it could happen. And then, you know, there's some other things in the game here, like an arena mode. You know, you get online multiplayer. Um, you can make your own tracks and stuff. I think there's some music in the game, like some rock music. Um, it's a decent game. It isn't as good though as the first two. I still think that Flat Out 1 and 2 were the best. But you can get this game for about $15 or less at GameStop. I think it's worth picking up for that price. Strange Brigade, a T for teen shooting game that wasn't bad, surprisingly, because Generation Zero I didn't think was that great. It was very annoying, the backtracking in the game. And I didn't think Earthfall was very good either. But Strange Brigade is pretty good. It's got that Indiana Jones, Tomb Raider type of style to it. You have to fight like mummies in the game and little sand creatures, you know, scorpions and, you know, like these giant like tarantulas and stuff in the game. Yeah, it's definitely weird, but it's a good third-person shooter, and I recommend it. It's only a one-player game, so it is very challenging. They really should have had a co-op for this, because if you could play co-op, oh yeah, it says 1 to 4 player campaign. Why does it say one player then? That's weird. But yeah, honestly, I feel like this game is best with like 2 players at least, because there are enemies that come from you behind and in front of you, and it's kind of hard to take them all out by yourself. As the game progresses, it gets very difficult. If you had a second player, it'd probably make it a little easier. I had another game called Killing Floor 2. That game was impossible to get anywhere in it by yourself. Like that game, you need 2 players. I don't think I have that game anymore, but I did, and I will say that's a good shooter, but it's just too hard to get through the game by yourself. You need somebody to help you in the game, otherwise you get your ass kicked. Persona 5, I remember picking this up at Empire Video Games, and Larry gave it to me for $5 since he hadn't seen me in a while. I like the Persona games. I think they're good RPG games. I'm not big into anime. I know this is like an anime style thing, but the level up system in the game is awesome. The game is fun. Um, you know, it's basically about a bunch of high school students in Tokyo, and they have to deal with their issues. You know, I think outside of that, it's just a turn-based RPG, and it's very fun, very good. Um, I recommend it. G.I. Joe Operation Blackout. One of the first PS4 games I picked up when I had my second PS4. It's a good third-person shooter, but this game, like when it first came out, 2020, um, it got a lot of hate, you know, because it was lacking in content. So that's why a lot of people said that this game sucks. This game is really crappy. It doesn't live up to the G.I. Joe name very well. And for $60, I could understand that. But I picked it up for 20. So, and it was factory sale. It was like brand new at GameStop. Of course I opened it, but for $20, that's not bad. You know, some of these games that they release at $60, they're right. It's not worth the price. Not even at 50 or 40. I don't even have the money to afford $60 games anymore. And plus, why would I buy a $60 game when I know it's going to drop in price 4 or 5 months later? Might as well just wait. And I'm glad I did with this game. The gameplay is okay. It's not terrible. It's not a bad game. It's your typical third-person shooter in the G.I. Joe franchise. Definitely a lot better than that crappy G.I. Joe Rise of Cobra movie tie-in game that was on the Xbox 360, Nintendo Wii, and the PS3. That game sucks. But G.I. Joe Operation Blackout's not too bad. Uncharted The Lost Legacy. Very good game. Never did beat it. Got very far. I will say the graphics look amazing. They are beautiful. The gameplay is fun. You don't play as Nathan Drake in this game, though. You play as Chloe and her friend in the game. Nadine, I think is her name. And you go through the levels. Sometimes you have to sneak. In the beginning of the game, you had to sneak around. You couldn't be seen. And it's your typical third-person shooter / adventure game, and it's very good. You know what you do in Uncharted. You climb walls, and you search for treasure, and you kill the bad guys. It's a blast. I got far. There was a puzzle I was stuck on. I could not get past it. Wolfenstein: The New Order and the New Blood, or the Old Blood rather. I had to get the double pack because Mr. Deals did not have the Old Blood by itself. So I have Wolfenstein: A New Order on PS3, but I also have it on PS4. I don't normally keep duplicates, but considering the fact that this is a double pack, it's like, what the hell? I just never played the New Order on PS4 since I played it on PS3. The game pissed me off. I could not beat the part where the robots were. I kept getting my ass handed to me by those robots. But, it's not a terrible game, the New Order. It's still fun. Still a good first-person shooter. It's just that part I could not get past it. I tried. I could not get past it. I ended up giving up on it. And the Old Blood, this game actually crashed on me when I played it on my PS4. I got to the second level of the game. I was in this room. There were a bunch of Nazis who found out who I was, that I was a spy. They started shooting at me. I started shooting back at them. Trying to get past that level for 20 minutes. It was really difficult. And then all of a sudden it crashed on me. I don't know why. It got stuck on my system too. I had to turn it off and reboot it. But when I did and I got the thing back up, it would not play in the PS4. But I'm sure it'll play on my PS5, and I look forward to getting back into that game and beating it. I want to beat the Wolfenstein games, but they're very challenging. Titanfall 2, very good first-person shooter. This was released on the Xbox One as well. The funny thing is, the first game was never released on PlayStation 4. It was only on Xbox 360 and Xbox One. But the second game they released on PS4 and Xbox One. I think that's pretty stupid. They should have released both games on the PS4. Although I got this game for really cheap. It was only $5. And you can't really beat that. Pastime Legends pickup, $5 for a shooter. Very good game. Gravity Rush 2, this game will cost you some money. I paid about $50 for this game. But it's worth it, and you better snag it while you can, because I have a funny feeling this game is going to keep going up in price. The first game, remastered version on PS4, goes for crazy amounts of money. I think it's around $80 or $90 for a copy. Unless you get the PS Vita version, but even that version's going up in price. But it's great. You play as Cat, you fly through the areas, you kill things with your powers. You have a hand power. And you have a friend there. And you also have a cat that follows you around. It's fun, I recommend it. One of the best T for Teen games you can get on PS4. Monster Hunter World, never played it. My friend Joseph got this for me probably about 10 months ago. I just haven't had a chance to play it yet, but I look forward to playing it. I do like the Monster Hunter games. They're good action RPGs. Battlefield 1's a very good game. I got this with my PS4, the second PS4 that is, and I got it for $3. I mean, you can't really beat that for $3. I don't know why this game was so cheap, but it was, and it's a good game, good first-person shooter. You can't go wrong for $3. The Sinking City, I couldn't find this in any GameStop, any Pastime Legends, no Mr. Deals, couldn't find it. Had to order it off of eBay, got it for about $20 brand new. The game's another detective game. He's kind of a vigilante, I'd say, in this game, because you can do vigilante things, like you can kill people on the streets that you don't like. That's not normally what a detective does. The game wasn't bad, but there was a few problems with the game. Like, if you put the puzzle pieces together, the clues, sometimes it wouldn't register it, and you had to start the whole level all over again, which is pretty frustrating. A few other things in the game that really frustrated me was the navigation. Like, the map system's pretty lame. It's not really that great. It could be a lot better. They don't really tell you where you can and can't go. And I really think that sucks. They really should have told you, at least given you a little bit of help. But you're kind of on your own in this game, making your decisions and choices, which makes it very difficult. But it's not a bad game. It just had a few problems. Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon Wildlands. Never played it, but I know it's a first-person shooter, and I look forward to playing it. Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six Siege. Never played the multiplayer, but I heard the multiplayer in the game was where this game is at. I got this in a buy two get one free along with Spyro the Ignited Trilogy and one other game. And I don't think I have those two games anymore, because when I sold my PS4, I had to give up a few games. But this game was pretty good. The campaign is kind of short, but I mean, I got the game for free because it was buy two get one free at GameStop, so I'm not complaining. Uh, but yeah, you really got to play this game online because it's not really that fun in single player. Metro Exodus, very good game. Post-apocalyptic world, lots of creatures and monsters that you have to shoot in the game. And later on in the game, you end up on a train, and there's some other things in the game that you have to do, like salvaging like ammo and making sure you get the proper sleep. It's a very good game, very good first-person shooter. Kind of like what's a good example? Kind of like Resident Evil 8, The Village, but before The Village came out, and it's not like it's similar to it, but it's not quite Resident Evil, if you know what I mean. It's basically, if you wanted to think about it, it's kind of like Resident Evil meets Wolfenstein or something, or not Wolfenstein. Medal of Honor, I guess. It just trying to think of something that it's similar to. World War Z, very good zombie game, very good licensed game. I recommend this game. Who would have thought they'd actually make a good licensed game in this day and age? But they did, and it came out a few years ago, 4 years ago or 5 years ago. I think it came out 2019. But it's very good. Surprisingly, the Switch version came out much later. It came out like a year later or something, and it's going for like $50. I don't understand why. But you want a game that's a decent campaign and the multiplayer is fun and it's cheaper on the PS4, get this version because it's only $17.99 at GameStop. I recommend it. It was a blast. There was a few annoying things like zombies getting stuck like this for like 3 or 4 seconds and then running towards you. But it didn't really harm the game too much, despite a few like bugs in the game. it was still pretty good. And the last game I had, which I just recently picked up and have not played it yet, is Dark Souls 2. I wanted one of the Dark Souls games. I have never played them. I've heard they're amazing. I heard they're a lot of fun. I've heard they're very challenging. And I really do want to sink some time into playing Dark Souls. So those are all the excuse me, those are all the PS4 games that I have. I did have a few other titles in the past. I had Resident Evil 7. I also had Uncharted 4, which I will be getting back. And I had Killing Floor 2. I had Spyro Ignited Trilogy. And I had a few other games that I don't currently own. I had Blaze Blue Cross Tag Battle, and I had Payday 2 for PS4. And 2 or 3 other titles that aren't coming to me at the moment. So anyways, hope you guys enjoyed, and thank you for watching. Take care. Bye.